We're live.
I'm just going to check the streaming.
Stream looks good.
Sergeant, can you start your recordings?
PC recording all set.
Cloud recording is going. Good morning and welcome to today's remote New York City Council hearing of the Committee on State and Federal Legislation. At this time, would Council staff please turn on their video? Please place electronic devices on vibrate or silent. Thank you. Chair, we're ready to begin.
Gaveling in. Good morning, everyone. I am Sean Abreu, Chair to the Committee on State and Federal Legislation. Thank you for joining us for this morning's virtual vote. Today, we'll be voting on 7 state legislative resolutions, also known as home rules or SLRs, in support of various state legislation. I'd like to now take a moment to briefly go through the SLRs for everyone. S 3259 is an act that would increase the fine for tractor-trailer combinations that park on residential streets overnight in an effort to deter these large commercial vehicles from taking up parking spots on residential streets for long periods of time. S 5602B would renew the authorization for the city's speed camera program through July 1st, 2025, and would remove the restriction on operating the cameras overnight and on weekends, allowing them to operate full time. The legislation also requires signs indicating a speed monitoring is active at camera locations. The next SLR, S 1608, would ensure that, consistent with the New York Constitution, promotions to supervisory roles in the department are made in accordance with competitive examination to ensure that the highest level of service is rendered to the public in the most efficient and competent possible manner. On the topic of pensions, we have S 9125, which amends the New York City Administrative Code in relation to the pensionable earnings of first-grade police officers. Additionally, we are voting on S 9237, an act to amend the retirement and Social Security law to allow certain members of the New York City Police Pension Fund to borrow from contributions. Lastly, we have 3 SLRs in relation to improving accessibility at public stations in New York City. First, S 9120A would authorize the city to discontinue some Bronx parkland and to grant access for improvements to the railroad, bringing Metro North service to 4 new stations in the Bronx and to Penn Station. Additionally, we are voting on S 9323 and S 9068B, which would make accessibility related improvements at the Broadway Junction and 168th Street transit stations, respectively. I'd like to once again thank my colleagues for their advocacy and engagement during this process. Thank you to the members of the Committee on State and Federal Legislation who have joined us today to vote on these important home rule messages, all of which stand to improve the lives of New Yorkers across this great city. I'd also like to thank Carlos Beato and committee staff Jay Street Ganapathy, William Diori, and Hector Herman. I'd also like to thank my staff member, Jaleesa Quigley. I'd like to now ask the clerk to call a vote.
Good morning. William Martin, Committee Clerk. Roll call vote, Committee on State and Federal Legislation. 8 SLRs are coupled. Chair Abreu.
My apologies, what's your question?
I'm calling the roll, sir.
Aye.
I'm just saying all the items are coupled together in one vote. No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you. Gennaro.
Yes, I vote. I'll vote aye on all. I do not support the 5602B about the speed cameras, but I'm voting yes in order to send it to the floor. I think this should go to the floor, so I am voting yes to send it to the floor, but so that's a yes on everything. Thank you.
Thank you. De La Rosa.
Here.
Pardon, Councilmember, your vote?
Aye, sorry.
Thank you. Gutierrez.
Aye on all. Thank you.
Thank you. Marte.
Aye on all.
Thank you. By a vote of 5 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, all items have been adopted by the committee. Mr. Chair, that is a full committee. You can close at your convenience.
I would like to adjourn this meeting and